Well, hello everyone, welcome back. It's part 11 of the build-up. Today we're going to be doing the ventral rib section of the port side of the secondary hull. And last time you saw me, I was doing the belly of the latter half of the belly section there. Got all the Aztecing done on it, and got it all coated up with some clear coat. And I'll zoom in to show you, get you kind of see what it all, you can get that real nice, pretty shine, that pretty shine to it that we're looking for. And you don't want to spray this stuff on very heavy, so you learn to keep it up about 4, 5, 6 inches away from the model, so that way you don't get too heavy. But as you can see, it's got all the pretty colors, the reds, the greens, the blue, and the golds in there. And so that's all done. So tonight what I'm going to do is we're going to tape off around this area here, and I will warn you that when you do this, you will go through a lot of tape. So I went and bought at my local Dirt Cheap. They had some of this Rust-Oleum automotive brand masking tape. Got some real thin and some thick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start tearing off here and getting it all masked off. That way we won't get a lot of overspray. And this is going to stop here on this end, on this side. So what we'll do is we'll tape it off there. And for this one here, I'm going to take my scissors and cut a nice straight line across, so that way when we get ready to spray, it doesn't get down into here. Like I said, you're going to go through a lot of tape doing this. And once you get the little stuff on, and go back through and put the big stuff. There we go. Now I'll go through, and what I've been doing is I've been using this paint tape. Before I do that though, I'm going to show you, I've gotten my before I put this transfer tape on here, I went through and peeled off this is what they call brick and mortar. As you can see, what we'll do is we'll go through here and we'll spray a heavy coat of gold on this right here, and then once I get that golden, I'll go through there and start picking off some of these brick deals. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you what I'm doing with this tool. Let me get my camera down there. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my squeegee and I'm just kind of going through it quite a bit to get it put down. And then now once I got it down, I can peel it off and then kind of clean up my area. just staying outside the box. We'll leave it at that, and I'm going to take you through here in just a minute and show you. We're going to, like I said, we're going to be using the Trek Modeler's Guide again on this, and you can see it's got just different sections, and there's not a whole lot here to do. You got maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections where you're going to be painting the gold. Everything else will be white, and this is all one color. So like I said, you can, this is all available at trekmodeler.com. You can request the whole PDF file there. It's about 150 something pages long. So, but once you get it downloaded, it really does help with some of the paint guides. But anyway, like I was saying, what I've been doing is I've been using this painter's paper, and you can buy this stuff at Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, anywhere that sells paint. You can get this stuff pretty much for like $2 a roll, $2-3 a roll, depending on how big you want. And it really does save you the time of having to go through there and really go through there and have to go, worry about getting paint everywhere else. So, but since that's just going to be that small area right there, I'm just going to put tape there. And then, move the camera back up to show you. Alright. Now, right here we have just a little bit of a section here, so I'm going to take my tape, cut it in a straight line again, and then that way it covers up that little piece. And then I'll put a piece here to cover the front. I might just put Alright, well, now I'll set this up, and once again let me zoom back over down here to where I'm at, and basically what I'm going to be doing is now I'm just going to be rolling off my backing here. I'll get started on it. I'm going to kind of give this another good once over here, just to make sure it's all down. And you're going to start at the back and get a good pressure on it. Use your fingers to basically kind of walk this paper back. I learned this off of Boyd from Trekworks. He did this, and he does it, and it looks real easy. And also I learned also off of going to the Orbital Dry Dock website, which is Orbital Dry Dock, or orbital_drydock.com, and Brett over there can take you through and show you the whole process of doing this. Pretty easy. And I watched some of the videos on there that he's done, and there's like a 30-minute video of him doing laying down the masking for the saucer. Something that would probably take 3 or 4 hours to do took him about 30 minutes to do. Of course, it was, the video was sped up, but all right. And if you get little pieces of Aztecing that pull up off while you're rolling this stuff back, just push it forward and roll it right back, and it'll push back down again. And just take your time. So, all right. Now we got that done. I'll scoot back up over to the ship. And I'll always make sure you kind of get it lined up before you touch it, because you don't want to get it on and then have to peel it off. Alright, there's that. Now that we've got that down, I'll just take my squeegee and just kind of give it a good rub over, and you can see it turning colors. Start seeing it turn a darker color as you're pushing it down. Now this is going to be the fun part. What I'll do is I'll start off here in the back and do the same thing again. Just start rolling it back with your fingers. Like I said, if you start getting pieces coming up with the transfer tape, just take your time, roll it back to the front, roll it back forward, and keep a lot of pressure on as you're pulling. Keep a lot of downward pressure, like you're pushing hard on the model, because you don't get too much pressure on there, because you could break your model. But I had one try to lift up on me there. And all I'll do is I'll just take my squeegee and kind of hold it. Like I said, if you get one that pulls up and it moves on you, don't panic. You can set it right back down and you can kind of straighten it out. Take your time and set them back down there. Once I get all this pulled off, I'll go back through and kind of push it back down again to get it, make sure it stays on. I really don't need it pulling up on you as you're you're spraying on. You also want to make sure that you don't have your air gun pressure up too high, because it can blow. It can push these, pull these masks off, and some of these masks are really little on this ship, but especially when you start getting into the nacelle area, it can cause a lot of problems. since this masking is a little finicky. So now we're gonna just now we got up here, so I'm just gonna start working my way up real carefully. It's not wanting to come off. I'm just gonna hold it. And once I've got everything pulled off, I can go back through and straighten it back up. Alright, now you can see I've got a couple of them back over here that I'm going to have to pull off and kind of remove. Of course, this one here, one at the front. Alright, now I'm going to have to put a little bit of tape right here. Alright, now I'll get set up for my gold. Shake this up. Alright, now I'm going to do test spray on my paper. Alright, we're good. Now I'm just going to start spraying a good, nice, even, heavy coat of the gold on here. Alright. Add just a little more. Because you want these to be a little bit darker than the regular mask, you know, the regular panel lines. Alright. Do it. Give this a quick dry. Alright, now that that's dry, we can go through here and kind of see what patterns we want to go through and pick out. So I'm going to start at the back, and it looks like, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels come off. So and I'm not going to be putting these back down, so start off just by 1, 2, 3, 4, I have a full one here. Looks like 5. Alright, now that we got that taken care of, we'll go, looks like we skip 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have 4 more lines to go. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll start taking these off. Alright. Now we skip a few. Looks like we skip 3 more rows, and then we have 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then we take out. Looks like we take out these 2. Alright, let's go back to our guide. And then looks like we skip 3 more. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then we take out these 3 right here. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and we take out, looks like we take out 3 full. Alright, and we go back to our let's see. And it looks like we skip 4. Of course, it's not going to be exact, so we're just going to kind of go from here and just kind of, I'd probably take out may take off this is kind of where we go on our own here, so I may just take off let's see, we'll do this one, we'll do this one, and then take out this big one here. Let's see. Take out that one. Take that one out. That one and that one there. Oh, that looks pretty good. So, all right, got our sprayer here, and just kind of on these, you do a. You don't want to do as heavy as a coat because you want to be able to see the mortar pattern on here. So you just take it and just kind of do light passes over it. Check this out here. That looks good. So, alright. Give this a quick dry. Alright, and the trick is on these, on these side panels, is you want to, when it's passing by, you want to see the mortar pattern first, and then as it kind of moves in the light, you'll see the iridescent gold come through. So once this completely dries, I'll go through and spray the lacquer coat on there. But while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and clean up my airbrush. So give me a minute. I'll be right back with you. I know a lot of you have asked on my Facebook account that if I've made this stuff up, or if I do this stuff as I go or what. But no, I use the Orbital Dry Dock. Use the Orbital Dry Dock masking tape. Is the 2V 5-color paint masks, and it really does make a difference when you do this. Clean this up just a little more. And the important thing is, guys, is when you're doing your Aztec masking and you're working with your spray, you want to make sure between each coat to clean it out, or you can have a chance of gunking up your sprayer, or you can cause it to leave color in the gun, and you don't want to do that. So always make sure that you use you can either use this Alkalide 2 airbrush cleaner. Works really well. What I do at the end of the day, when I'm finished my airbrushing, I go through and I will use this at the very end. But what I usually use is just the regular old acetone fingernail polish remover. It cleans the brushes out really well, gets all the paint out. It works better than paint thinner. This stuff sells for like $2 a bottle, or you can go get the can in the paint section for about $5 a bottle, and you can fill up 2 of these with basically 2 of these jugs, these containers here with acetone pretty well. And what I do is I pour a little bit of this in the jar where I put my paint in, and I'll take a Q-tip and rub the brush out real good in the jar where the paint's sitting in, and down by the nozzle. I'm telling you, folks, these Q-tips, you can get them for $500 for about $1.50 at your Walmart or anywhere you can get them. So these come in really handy. And then at the end of the day, I will use this Alkalide 2 cleaner in the airbrush to get everything completely out. So, all right, now that should be dry enough. Now we can take all our masking off. coat it with a coating of the semi-coat, you know, the Alkalite 2 clear coat it so it protects it. Now, a lot of people will, a lot of the people use the Future floor wax to kind of seal this off. I don't like it. I've used the Mr. Hobby, you know, the clear coat, super clear coat. It works well. You can use the Tester's clear coat, but I like using the Alkalite. You can use it in your airbrush and it works real well. I don't like the spray cans because they kind of run out a little bit before you get done. And that's why I like using it on the airbrush, because you could, you know, spray the areas pretty well. And again, folks, my base coat that I'm using is for this, and it works real well. I learned this from a buddy of mine, Steve Smith, from Smith Model Industries. Let me grab the can real quick. There's basically on the Rust-Oleum, let me back out here so I can show you what I'm talking about. There's basically the Rust-Oleum brand. This works really, really well for the base coats. The gray primer that I use for light blocking, and it works really, really well for the light blocking. And the first coat of primer that you use, you basically, when you start this, you want to use an adhesion promoter, and what that does is it allows the primer and your paints to stick. That adhesion promoter, you can get at just about any kind of automotive store that sells paints. AutoZone, O'Reilly's, you can get it from there for about 12 bucks a can, maybe, I think, I can't remember. And then I use this Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Cover paint primer, the gray primer, to use as my base primer, and then I use this stuff to light block, because this stuff, once you spray it on the inside a good coat or two, this stuff like really blocks out the light, and you don't have to do as much with it. And then I go back through for my base coat and I use the white primer, and it works really well. You can see how well it works, and it sticks. But basically what you want to do is, after you get your primer down, you spray your base coat, let it sit for a couple of days, or at least 12 hours or so, with some kind of fan or circulation. That way it dries, and once it dries, folks, it dries real smooth. You don't have any bumps in there. You can sand it down and then recoat it, and that's what I did, and it works really well. This stuff works for the lacquer based paints. It also works real good with enamels and acrylics, and it works real well. This stuff is a lot cheaper than going through into your automotive paint store and getting the acrylic polyurethane, because that stuff is expensive and it can cause problems down the line with your health too. So this stuff works real well. Just make sure it's set and let it dry, and then you can do whatever else you need to. So now that this is dry, you can see that it looks real well. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my where is it? Which one was I using? I think it was this one. The Alkalite 2 lacquer clear coat semi matte. It works well. Just make sure you shake it because the sediment and stuff settles down at the bottom. Alright. Make sure I get all my cleaner out of there because I don't want to have a problem. And the one thing I too like about the the acetone is it dissolves, not dissolves, but it evaporates pretty quick, so you don't have to worry about it sitting in your brush and stuff like that and getting it all dirty and whatnot. So just pour just a little bit down in there, just to fill up the cup, and then I'll do a kind of a test shot. And what I may have to do is sometimes it gets clogged, so you may have to take your needle go and adjust it, and now we can start spraying my clear coat on. Where I can see the coverage. Turn up my there we go. All right. And what I'll do is I'll go through and kind of give this a quick force dry so we can take our tape off. And when you do the heat gun, don't do it too close because you could have a chance on burning your model and causing the paint to crack. So hold it back about a good 6 to 8 inches to where you can just get a good amount of heat there to force dry it. Alright, while it's letting that dry, I'm going to pour some of my acetone down in there in my brush to clean it. Let it sit for a little bit. All I'll do is I'll take my Q-tip and kind of clean the nozzle out. And what I'll do is I'll let that sit for a few minutes. Alright guys, well, you can see there it has a zoom in for you. You can see there it has a real nice shine to it, and once that dries it'll be very you won't hardly see the coating there. And then what I'll do is I'll go back through and put once I get the whole thing done, I'll go back through and put another coat on to get it all once and for all sealed down. I'm not going to take you through and show the other side because it's basically doing the same thing. Paint stuck together. Take my now that's all off, take my tweezers here and start pulling the tape off. Make sure that when you're using your tweezers to do it very gently, or it can cause you to gouge your paint and cause a big problem. Now I'm gonna pull off my window. Let me back out here just a little bit. All right. Well, there you have it. See, I don't know if you can see it well enough in the light or not, but let me zoom back in again where you can see it. Get the nice gold, and I don't know if the light's gonna allow it. There you go. There's a good shot of it. Right here you can see the good gold pattern in there, and like I said, once this clear coat dries, you won't be able to see it, and it'll blend in real nice with the other. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it for this episode, and the next part 12 that you see me in, I will be starting to do the port side walls here, the lower and the upper sections here. For this, I'll already have the starboard side ventral wall done, and get that taken care of, and we'll go from there. So until then, guys, we'll see you around. Keep building those models. Stay happy, and we'll see you around the bend, folks. Have a good one.